So here's a picture of chaparral. So you see we've got bushes to small trees, but not very big trees, and a fair amount of bare ground in between. Deserts, familiar, rather dry. We do have colder and warmer areas, temperate or subtropical, tropical areas. Although we tend to think of deserts as being hot, actually deserts tend to have high temperature range. So we have very hot, high temperature and rather cold, low temperatures. Again, both are going to tend to be hotter in our subtropical, tropical areas and cooler in our more temperate regions. Relatively low rainfall, common definition of a desert, is that we have under 25 centimeters of rain per year, or the equivalent in snow. Dry areas, we may have very little to no plants in the driest deserts. For example, Atacama Desert in South America, we have areas going centuries with no rain, and there's just not enough for plants. Although in some desert areas, although there's very little rain, we do get some dew, and that's enough to help keep plants going. For that matter, chaparral areas, dew can be very important. Dew's the one main source of water through the summer for plants in Israel, for example. Plants tend to have somewhat reduced specialized leaves, help to protect the plant, lose less water, and also a nice soft leaf is going to be gobbled up pretty readily by hungry and thirsty animals. You also have plants with a very short lifespan, annuals that will grow fast, flower, and die back real quick just when conditions get good for them. Specializations in our animals to save water. These may be in their physiology, for example, able to very much get water out before excreting waste. A lot of the desert animals use very little water with the waste. Behavior, staying in the shade in the daytime, things like that. You also have, of course, hibernation is familiar, something option when it's called. Estivation is a more general term that will also apply to shutting down when it's hot. And some animals can do this for quite a long time. There was a classic example, a couple of land snails from desert area had been collected and put into a museum collection, glued onto a piece of cardboard sitting there. And a few years later, somebody noticed, no, they've got their opening sealed up. A lot of the land snails will cover the opening with mucus, let that dry, and provide a seal for protection when they're sheltering from conditions. And so, wonder if that's still alive in there. Add some water, and indeed, snail starts to come out of the shell, check out what's going on after a couple of years. So, you have these adaptations to deal with the hot, dry conditions, or cold, dry. Here's an example. This is some of the desert region of southwestern U.S. and the northern Mexico. Has the big saguaro cactuses and things like that. Bushes, relatively prickly, often. Savanna, again, a tropical grassland, so somewhat drier area, but you have trees scattered in it as well. And so this will be found in warmer, drier climates, not so dry as desert, but too dry to have forest. Now this dryness, we could have just not much rain overall, or sometimes there's a lot of rain, but it's all during one season, and then other parts of the year are dry. Either way, those drier conditions prevent trees from being able to take over, favor some fire, which again tends to be a problem for most trees. Hot and some water, again, tends to lead to minerals being leached away. Aluminum is one thing that does not wash away readily at all, and so too much aluminum, chemically that's not good for most living things. Again, a lot of grasses, trees, but in the grasslands, again, you tend to get large grazers, so the trees tend to have some protections there. Fire resistant, drought, of course, Africa, quite famous for all the large animals that are there. Now, there would have been large animals in savanna other parts of the world, but humans have largely wiped those out. So here's an example, African savanna. You can see wildebeest, various antelopes, some trees, and a lot of gaps in between.